the annals of philosophy, few concepts have endured with such profound impact as the Stoic ideal of virtue. Today we embark on a journey to explore this timeless principle and its relevance to our modern lives. Virtue in the Stoic tradition is not merely a lofty ideal, but the very essence of a life well lived. It is the compass that guides us through the tumultuous seas of existence, pointing always towards true happiness and fulfillment. As we delve into this topic, we'll uncover the deep connection between virtue and eudaimonia, a Greek term that encompasses the notion of human flourishing and well-being. The Stoics believe that by cultivating virtue we align ourselves with the natural order of the universe, achieving a state of inner peace and contentment that transcends external circumstances. In the coming minutes, we'll explore how this ancient wisdom can transform our daily lives, offering a path to resilience, purpose, and genuine satisfaction. Let us begin this contemplative journey, examining how the pursuit of virtue can lead us to the highest good and a life of true meaning. In Stoic philosophy, virtue stands as the cornerstone of a good life, the highest pursuit to which we can aspire. But what exactly is virtue in the Stoic sense? It's not merely a set of moral rules or societal norms. Rather, it's a state of character, a way of being that aligns with our nature as rational beings. The Stoics believe that virtue is the only true good, the sole factor necessary for happiness and fulfillment. This may seem counterintuitive at first, but as we delve deeper, we'll see the profound wisdom in this perspective. Virtue, in Stoic terms, is living in accordance with reason and nature. It's about recognizing our place in the cosmic order and acting in harmony with it. This doesn't mean passively accepting everything that happens, but rather using our rational faculties to respond appropriately to life's challenges. Our capacity for reason is what sets us apart as human beings. It's through reason that we can discern right from wrong, make ethical decisions, and cultivate virtue. The Stoics saw reason as a fragment of the divine logos or universal reason that governs the cosmos. By honing our rational abilities, we're not only improving ourselves but also aligning with the fundamental nature of the universe. Virtue isn't something we're born with. It's a skill we must develop through consistent practice and reflection. It requires us to examine our thoughts, emotions, and actions, always striving to act in accordance with wisdom and ethical principles. This ongoing process of self-improvement is at the heart of Stoic philosophy. Understanding virtue in this way shifts our focus from external circumstances to our internal state. It empowers us to find contentment and purpose regardless of what life throws our way. By cultivating virtue, we become resilient in the face of adversity and find joy in living according to our highest principles. In Stoic philosophy, the pursuit of virtue is paramount, and at the core of this pursuit lie the four cardinal virtues: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. These virtues are not isolated concepts, but interconnected principles that guide our actions and shape our character. Let's begin with wisdom or prudence. This virtue encompasses practical wisdom, good judgment, and the ability to navigate life's complexities. It's about discerning right from wrong, understanding the nature of things, and making sound decisions. Wisdom allows us to see the world clearly and act in accordance with reason. Justice, the second cardinal virtue, extends beyond mere legality. It's about fairness, integrity, and treating others with respect and dignity. Justice involves recognizing our duties to our fellow human beings and to society as a whole. It guides us in our interactions, ensuring that we contribute positively to our communities. Courage, or fortitude, is not just about physical bravery. It's the strength of character to face life's challenges, to stand up for what's right, and to persevere in the face of adversity. Courage allows us to confront our fears, overcome obstacles, and remain steadfast in our principles. Temperance, or self-control, is about moderation and restraint. It's the ability to manage our desires and impulses, to find the middle ground between excess and efficiency. Temperance helps us maintain balance in our lives, avoiding the pitfalls of overindulgence or extreme asceticism. These four virtues are deeply interrelated. Wisdom informs our sense of justice, courage gives us the strength to act justly, and temperance ensures that our courageous actions are measured and appropriate. Together, they form a framework for living a virtuous life. In our daily lives, we can see these virtues at play in various situations. When faced with a difficult decision, wisdom helps us analyze the situation. Justice ensures we consider the impact on others. Courage gives us strength to make the right choice, and temperance prevents us from acting rashly. By cultivating these virtues, we develop a moral compass that guides us through life's complexities. They help us navigate ethical dilemmas, build strong relationships, and contribute meaningfully to society. The Stoic ideal is to embody all four virtues in harmony, striving for excellence in character and action. In our pursuit of a good life, we often find ourselves chasing after external goods such as wealth, health, and reputation. Society tells us that these are the markers of success and happiness, but the Stoics offer us a different perspective, one that challenges our conventional understanding of what truly matters. The Stoic philosophy posits that virtue is the only true good, but what does this mean, and how does it compare to the external goods we typically value? Let's first consider wealth. While money can provide comfort and security, it is ultimately neutral in its moral value. A virtuous person can use wealth to benefit others, while a vicious person might use it to cause harm. The Stoics argue that it's not the possession of wealth that matters, but how we use it and our attitude towards it. Health is another external good that we often prioritize. Undoubtedly, good health allows us to function well in the world. However, the Stoics remind us that even in illness or disability, we can still exercise virtue. Our character remains intact regardless of our physical condition. Reputation, too, is an external good that many of us strive for. We want to be well regarded by our peers and society at large. But the Stoics caution us against placing too much value on the opinions of others. True virtue comes from within and doesn't depend on external validation. So why do the Stoics consider virtue as the only true good? The answer lies in its intrinsic nature. Unlike external goods, which can be taken away from us by circumstances beyond our control, virtue is entirely within our power. No one can force us to act unjustly or cowardly. Our virtue remains our own, regardless of external circumstances. This perspective fundamentally shapes our approach to life. Instead of anxiously pursuing wealth, perfect health, or an impeccable reputation, we focus on cultivating wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. We learn to find contentment in our own moral character rather than in fleeting external possessions or circumstances. This doesn't mean we completely disregard external goods. The Stoics acknowledge that, all else being equal, it's preferable to have health rather than illness, or sufficient means rather than poverty. However, they emphasize that these things should be viewed as preferred indifference, nice to have but not essential for a good life. By prioritizing virtue over external goods, we gain a sense of inner peace and resilience. We're no longer at the mercy of fortune's whims. Whether we face prosperity or adversity, we can always choose to act virtuously, and in doing so we secure our own happiness and fulfillment. Cultivating virtue in our daily lives is not merely an abstract philosophical concept, but a practical endeavor that requires consistent effort and mindful application. As we navigate the complexities of our modern world, we can find numerous opportunities to embody the Stoic virtues of wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. Let us consider how we might apply these virtues to common situations we encounter. In our interactions with others, we can practice wisdom by pausing to reflect before responding, ensuring our words and actions are guided by reason rather than impulsive emotions. When faced with a disagreement at work or in our personal relationships, we can exercise justice by striving to understand all perspectives and seeking a fair resolution that considers the well-being of all involved. Courage in the Stoic sense is not about grand heroic acts, but rather the fortitude to face daily challenges with resilience. This might manifest as speaking up against unethical practices in our workplace, or having the strength to admit our mistakes and take responsibility for our actions. It's about doing what is right, even when it's uncomfortable or unpopular. Temperance or self-control can be practiced in numerous ways throughout our day. It might involve resisting the urge to indulge in excessive pleasures, managing our time more effectively, or maintaining our composure in the face of provocation. By exercising temperance, we cultivate a sense of inner balance and harmony. To truly integrate these virtues into our lives, we must remain vigilant and self-aware. Each evening we can engage in the Stoic practice of self-reflection, reviewing our actions and decisions of the day. We can ask ourselves, did I act with wisdom? Was I just in my dealings with others? Did I display courage when faced with challenges? Did I exercise temperance in my behaviors? By consistently engaging this practice, we gradually align our actions more closely with our values, fostering a virtuous character that becomes second nature. Remember, the goal is not perfection but progress. Each small act of virtue, no matter how seemingly insignificant, contributes to our overall growth and brings us closer to the Stoic ideal of living in accordance with nature and reason. The path to virtuous living is often strewn with obstacles, both external and internal. As we strive to embody the Stoic ideals, we inevitably encounter resistance from the world around us and from within ourselves. One of the most pervasive challenges we face is the constant barrage of societal pressures. Our culture often glorifies wealth, status, and pleasure, presenting them as the ultimate goals of life. This stands in stark contrast to the Stoic emphasis on virtue as the highest good. We find ourselves bombarded by messages that equate success with material possessions or social acclaim, making it difficult to maintain our focus on what truly matters. Moreover, we must contend with the judgments and expectations of others. Friends, family, and colleagues may not understand or appreciate our commitment to virtue, potentially leading to feelings of isolation or self-doubt. The fear of being perceived as different or even foolish can be a powerful deterrent to living according to our principles. Yet, as Stoics, we recognize that these external pressures are ultimately indifferent to our true well-being. Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. We have the power to choose our response to these societal influences, maintaining our commitment to virtue regardless of external circumstances. Equally challenging are the personal weaknesses we all possess. Our own desires, fears, and habits can often lead us astray from the path of virtue. True, we may find ourselves giving in to anger when faced with injustice, or succumbing to greed when opportunity presents itself. Struggle against our baser instincts is a constant one, requiring vigilance and self-reflection. To overcome these obstacles, we can turn to time-tested Stoic strategies. First and foremost is the practice of negative visualization. By regularly contemplating the loss of things we value, we not only prepare ourselves for potential hardships, but also cultivate gratitude for what we have. This exercise helps us maintain perspective and resist the allure of external goods. Another powerful tool is the discipline of assent. By pausing to examine our impressions before acting on them, we can avoid being swept away by our initial emotional reactions. This practice allows us to respond to challenges with reason and wisdom, rather than impulsive behavior. We can also draw strength from the examples of those who have gone before us. The lives of Stoic philosophers and other virtuous individuals serve as beacons, showing us that it is indeed possible to live according to our principles even in the face of great adversity. Ultimately, overcoming obstacles to virtuous living is a daily practice. It requires consistent effort, self-reflection, and a willingness to learn from our mistakes. By approaching each challenge as an opportunity for growth, we can gradually strengthen our resolve and deepen our commitment to living virtuously. In the pursuit of virtue, reason stands as our guiding light, illuminating the path towards virtuous living. The Stoics recognize that our capacity for rational thought is what sets us apart from other beings, and it is through this faculty that we can truly understand and embody virtue. Reason in the Stoic sense is not merely cold logic or detached analysis. It is a profound understanding of the nature of reality and our place within it. It is the ability to discern what is truly within our control and what is not, to see the world as it is rather than as we wish it to be. When we employ reason in our quest for virtue, we begin to see the interconnectedness of all things. We recognize that our actions have consequences not just for ourselves, but for others and the world at large. This realization compels us to act with greater care and consideration. Rational thinking allows us to examine our impulses and desires critically. It enables us to pause in the face of strong emotions and ask ourselves, is this reaction virtuous? Does it align with wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance? By subjecting our thoughts and actions to this scrutiny, we gradually refine our behavior and character. Moreover, reason helps us to distinguish between true goods and mere preferred indifference. It reminds us that while health, wealth, and reputation may be desirable, they are not essential for living a virtuous life. Only virtue itself is truly good and within our control. In making virtuous choices, reason serves as both a compass and a shield. It points us towards what is right and noble, while protecting us from the winds of fortune and the opinions of others. When faced with difficult decisions, we can turn to reason to weigh our options and choose the path that best aligns with virtue. However, it's crucial to understand that reason in Stoicism is not divorced from emotion or empathy. Rather, it encompasses a holistic understanding of human nature and our social responsibilities. It acknowledges that we are part of a larger whole and that our individual pursuit of virtue contributes to the greater good of humanity. By cultivating our capacity for reason, we strengthen our ability to live virtuously. We become more adept at navigating the complexities of life, making decisions that reflect our highest values and aspirations. In this way, reason becomes not just a tool, but a vital part of our character, inseparable from our pursuit of virtue and our journey towards eudaimonia. In the pursuit of happiness, we often find ourselves chasing fleeting pleasures and external achievements. But the Stoics offer us a different perspective on what it means to be truly happy. They introduce us to the concept of eudaimonia, a state of human flourishing that goes far beyond momentary satisfaction. Eudaimonia, in Stoic philosophy, is not simply about feeling good or accumulating life's luxuries. It's a profound state of well-being that comes from living in accordance with virtue. The Stoics believed that by cultivating wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance, we align ourselves with our nature as rational beings and with the natural order of the universe. This alignment brings about a deep sense of fulfillment and contentment that is unshakable even in the face of adversity. Unlike the happiness derived from external circumstances, which can be taken away in an instant, the joy that comes from living virtuously is always within our control. Consider how different this is from our common notions of happiness. We often equate happiness with success, wealth, or pleasure. We chase after promotions, bigger houses, or exciting experiences, believing these will bring us lasting satisfaction. But how often have we achieved these goals only to find that the happiness they bring is short-lived? The Stoic view challenges us to look inward rather than outward for our sense of well-being. It suggests that true happiness comes not from what happens to us, but from how we choose to act in any given situation. By focusing on our character and actions rather than on outcomes, we free ourselves from the roller coaster of external events. Living virtuously doesn't mean we won't face challenges or experience negative emotions. The Stoics weren't advocating for a life of detached indifference. Rather, They believe that by cultivating virtue, we develop the resilience and inner strength to navigate life's ups and downs with grace and equanimity. This perspective on happiness is both liberating and empowering. It means that no matter our circumstances, we always have the power to work towards eudaimonia. Whether we're facing success or failure, health or illness, wealth or poverty, we can always choose to act with wisdom, justice, courage, and self-control. In embracing this Stoic concept of happiness, we shift our focus from short-term gratification to long-term fulfillment. We begin to find joy not in what we have or what happens to us, but in who we are becoming. This is the transformative power of virtue. It doesn't just make us feel good, it makes us better human beings. In our complex modern world, balancing the pursuit of virtue with the practical demands of daily life can often seem like an insurmountable challenge. Yet it is precisely in this balancing act that the true power of Stoic philosophy shines through. We live in an age of constant distractions, relentless pressures, and ever-increasing expectations. It's easy to feel overwhelmed and lose sight of our virtuous intentions. However, the Stoic approach reminds us that virtue is not an abstract ideal to be achieved in isolation, but a practical guide for navigating the intricacies of our lives. One strategy for maintaining Stoic principles in our modern context is to practice mindful decision-making. Before acting, pause and ask yourself, is this action in alignment with wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance? This brief moment of reflection can help ground your choices in virtue, even amidst the chaos of daily life. Another approach is to reframe our perspective on external circumstances. The modern world often pushes us to prioritize success, status, and material gain. But as Stoics, we understand that these are preferred indifference at best. By consistently reminding ourselves that virtue alone is the true good, we can maintain our focus on what truly matters, regardless of external pressures. Practicing Stoic acceptance is also crucial in our fast-paced world. We must learn to distinguish between what is within our control and what isn't. By focusing our energy on our own thoughts and actions, the things we can control, we free ourselves from unnecessary stress and anxiety about external events. It's important to note that balancing virtue with practicality doesn't mean compromising our principles. Rather, it's about finding ways to express our virtues within the context of our daily lives. For instance, practicing justice might involve making ethical consumer choices or standing up for a colleague facing discrimination at work. Ultimately, the goal is to integrate Stoic principles seamlessly into our modern lives, so that virtue becomes our default mode of operation. This requires consistent practice and patience, but the rewards, inner peace, resilience, and true fulfillment are well worth the effort. As we continue our exploration of virtue in Stoic philosophy, we must consider the profound impact our actions have on those around us. Teaching and modeling virtue is not merely a noble pursuit, but a fundamental responsibility we bear as rational beings striving for excellence. Virtue, in its essence, is not a solitary endeavor. It flourishes in the fertile soil of human interaction, where our choices and behaviors serve as silent teachers to those who observe us. By living virtuously, we create a ripple effect that extends far beyond our immediate sphere of influence. Consider the words of Marcus Aurelius, who wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This simple yet powerful statement encapsulates the Stoic approach to teaching virtue. That is through our actions, not our words alone, that we truly impart the principles of wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. When we consistently demonstrate virtuous behavior, we become living examples of Stoic ideals. Our calm demeanor in the face of adversity, our fair treatment of others regardless of their status, our courage in standing up for what is right, and our moderation in the pursuit of pleasure. All these actions speak volumes about the value of virtue. Moreover, by embodying these virtues, we create an environment that nurtures ethical behavior in others. Just as a virtuous person tends to seek out like-minded individuals, our actions can inspire those around us to reflect on their own choices and strive for moral excellence. However, it's crucial to approach this task with humility. We are not perfect beings, and the journey towards virtue is a lifelong process. By acknowledging our own struggles and imperfections, we make the path to virtue seem more attainable to others. We must be willing to learn from our mistakes and grow, demonstrating that the pursuit of virtue is a continuous approach rather than a destination. In our interactions with others, we have countless opportunities to model virtue. Whether it's in our professional lives, our personal relationships, or our engagement with our communities, each moment presents a chance to choose the virtuous path. By doing so consistently, we silently yet powerfully advocate for the importance of ethical living. Remember, the goal is not to preach or impose our views on others, but to inspire through example. As Epictetus advised, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Let your actions speak for themselves, and trust in the transformative power of virtuous living to influence those around you. In the annals of Stoic philosophy, we encounter the concept of the Stoic sage, an idealized figure embodying perfect virtue. This sage represents the pinnacle of human potential, a beacon of wisdom and moral excellence that guides us on our own path towards virtue. A Stoic sage is not merely a theoretical construct, but a practical ideal that inspires us to continually refine our character. This sage possesses unwavering judgment, acts always in accordance with reason, and maintains perfect equanimity in the face of life's vicissitudes. While the attainment of such perfection may seem beyond reach, the very existence of this ideal serves a crucial purpose in our pursuit of virtue. It provides us with a North Star, a reference point against which we can measure our progress and align our actions. Consider how the sage would approach the challenges you face daily. In moments of conflict, the sage would respond with justice and courage, tempered by wisdom. When confronted with temptation, the sage would exercise temperance, guided by a clear understanding of what truly matters in life. By contemplating the sage's perfection, we illuminate the areas in our own lives that require growth and development. We begin to recognize the gap between our current state and our potential, spurring us towards continuous improvement. However, it's essential to approach this ideal with humility and compassion for ourselves. The Stoic journey is not about achieving immediate perfection, but about persistent progress. Each step we take towards virtue, no matter how small, is valuable and praiseworthy. As we strive to embody the qualities of the Stoic sage, we cultivate a deeper understanding of virtue itself. We learn to distinguish between true virtue and its mere appearance, developing a more refined moral sensibility. Let the image of the Stoic sage inspire you, but do not let it discourage you. Remember, even the greatest Stoic philosophers acknowledged their own imperfections. The path of virtue is a lifelong journey, and it is the consistent effort towards improvement that truly matters. As we strive to cultivate virtue in our lives, it's essential to engage in practical exercises that strengthen our resolve and deepen our understanding. Let's explore some Stoic practices that can help us develop virtue in our daily lives. One powerful technique is negative visualization. This exercise involves imagining scenarios where we lose the things we value most. By doing so, we cultivate gratitude for what we have and prepare ourselves mentally for potential adversities. Take a moment each day to consider what life would be like without your health, loved ones, or material comforts. This practice not only fosters appreciation but also reinforces our ability to face challenges with equanimity. Self-reflection is another crucial tool in developing virtue. Set aside time each evening to review your day. Ask yourself, did I act with wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance? Where did I fall short, and how can I improve? This daily examination allows us to learn from our experiences and consciously align our actions with virtue. The practice of voluntary discomfort can also strengthen our character. Occasionally choose to forgo small comforts or endure minor inconveniences. This might involve taking a cold shower, fasting for a day, or sleeping on the floor. These experiences remind us that our happiness doesn't depend on external circumstances and build our resilience. Another valuable exercise is role modeling. Identify individuals, historical or contemporary, who embody the virtues you aspire to cultivate. Reflect on how they might handle situations you encounter in your daily life. This practice helps us internalize virtuous behavior and provides inspiration for our own actions. Lastly, practice the art of mindful speech. Before speaking, pause to consider whether your words are true, necessary, and kind. This exercise develops wisdom and temperance, helping us communicate more thoughtfully and avoid unnecessary conflicts. By incorporating these practices into our daily routines, we create opportunities to exercise and strengthen our virtues. Remember, developing virtue is a lifelong journey. Each day presents new challenges and opportunities for growth. Embrace these exercises with patience and persistence, knowing that every small step brings you closer to living a truly virtuous life. As we conclude our exploration of virtue as the highest good, let us reflect on the profound wisdom of Stoic philosophy. We've journeyed through the core principles that guide a life of virtue, examining how wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance intertwine to form the foundation of a truly fulfilling existence. Remember that in the Stoic view, virtue alone is sufficient for happiness. External circumstances, while not insignificant, pale in comparison to the power of a virtuous character. By cultivating reason and aligning our actions with nature, we can navigate life's challenges with grace and equanimity. The path of virtue is not always easy, but it is invariably rewarding. Each day presents us with opportunities to exercise our virtues, to make choices that reflect our highest ideals. Whether facing adversity or prosperity, we can choose to respond with wisdom and integrity. As you move forward, I encourage you to integrate these Stoic principles into your daily life. Practice negative visualization to cultivate gratitude. Engage in regular self-reflection to align your actions with your values. Embrace challenges as opportunities for growth and the refinement of your character. Remember, the pursuit of virtue is a lifelong journey. Each step taken in accordance with wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance brings us closer to that ideal of the Stoic sage. While perfection may be aspirational, the very act of striving towards virtue transforms us and the world around us. May your path be guided by reason, your actions rooted in virtue, and your life a testament to the enduring power of Stoic wisdom. In choosing virtue as your highest good, you choose a life of true fulfillment and inner peace.